You feel so flaming helpless.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'd come and get some of Alf's stuff, you know, his shaving, tackling his pyjamas and that. Well, you feel as if you want to be doing something, don't you?
What do you think Ray would do exactly if you told him?
Well, what could he do? I mean, I could tell him, couldn't I? That's all. Your wife and kid have gone missing. Half the police in Lancashire are looking for them. But what good would that do? I mean, by the time he got over here, they'd both be either tucked up in bed or else they'd both be... Oh, what the hell could he do then? I mean, bring them back to life.
You're right, lovey. Leave it as it is.
What the hell's going on?
We've had an accident, that's all.
Half the pub front's gone, and that's all you can say. There's been an accident.
It's serious, Eddie.
Yeah, a lorry turned over and we got the load of timber.
Flipping
The
heck.
driver stuffed it.
I died of a heart attack.
That's what caused it.
Anybody else? I mean, do we know?
Well, Alf's bad. He's still in hospital. And Mike Baldwin.
No, he's not so bad, though, is he?
No, not so bad.
Deirdre and the kid have gone off missing. We don't know what happened to Tracy at all, but Deirdre just walked out. Disappeared.
Well, it was only up at Monkey's, only half a mile away, but it's a different world. Nobody knows.
Only happened a couple of hours ago.
Oh, it feels like a lifetime.
I'd better get off anyway.
Are you going to the hospital?
Yeah, I've got to take some of Alf's stuff back, you know.
Could I come with you?
If you want to, it's up to you.
You feel as if you want to do something, don't you?
Oh, hello, Mrs. Walker. I thought you might have been fast asleep. No, dear, the pill doesn't seem to be working. Any kicks I'm better up. Let's have a drink, shall we? Is there some left in the pot? No, dear, I mean a proper drink.
That's
We all
a good
need
idea.
it. Oh, well, right, then let's have your orders. Emily? No point in breaking down at times like this. True, Elizabeth. But if you don't, you feel there's something wrong with you.
I think I saw his eyes flicker. Did you? Did you see his eyes flicker?
No, love, but don't worry. They will. God will grant you patience.
Oh, I hope so, Mrs. Sharples, because I'm not very well endowed with it.
Have you had much experience with family ailments or bereavements?
No, not really. My mother's an invalid when it suits her.
Is that your impatience speaking?
Yeah, I suppose it is.
You know, it's not very evenly spread. I have known women that have never had a carefree week in the whole of their existence. It's always been something. If it hasn't been a child, it's been a husband, it's been themselves. Sometimes think God puts them on earth as a good example to us to show us how lucky we are. He'll pull through. It's a wonderful creation of the human body. If it wants to have a rest, by heck, it'll have a rest, and no doctor on earth will shift it. He'll open his eyes when he's good and ready.
Yes, but...
Yes, I know. You want to be there when he does. That's why God will grant you patience.
Those for Mr. Roberts?
Yeah, they're just his pyjamas and shaving stuff and that.
I'll take care of them. Don't stop too long, will you?
No. I do.
How are you diddling?
Oh, not so bad, mate. How are you?
Great. Feel not so bad. What are you doing in here?
Got me strapped to the bed.
No kidding.
Near enough. Move a muscle, they got the exits guarded with shotguns.
He had concussion, that's why they've kept him in.
It's a funny thing, that concussion, you know. Do you know, you can walk around with it for ages and not know you've got it. And then suddenly, pow!
Oh, thanks very much. Who's your friend, a registered hospital visitor sent here to cheer us up?
Oh, you're all right. I mean, you're catered for. Anyway, you can't fall down. You're already on your back.
Aye, so be thankful.
Yeah, you're on easy street. Do you know, it's a long time since I've been in one of these hospitals. Not bad, is it?
Well, play your cards right, you can have this bed. I mean, wait for the rush hour, play in the traffic, get yourself knocked down by a small juggernaut. Solve all your problems, that would.
You know, it might be worth a couple of weeks, a broken ankle. What's the grub like?
Don't know, I haven't tried it yet. Bit of luck I'll be out before the next meal comes round.
You three look for all the world like you're planning the next train robbery.
We're thinking of taking over the hospital. We're going to take you hostage.
Not today, love. I'm off soon. Wait till my next duty starts, eh?
Oh, when are you off? I'll take you wherever you're going, I don't care.
You stay where you are.
Yeah, you want to watch him, you know. Otherwise, he'll be out the window.
I'll slap his legs if he doesn't behave.
Oh, I might like that.
Don't be too sure.
Excuse me. How do I get to spend some time in here?
Qualify as a surgeon, I'm sure you've got it in you. And keep quiet.
Is that Alf?
Is Ina still in there with Reenie?
Yeah.
Do you know, when you look at the front of the Rovers, it's a wonder nobody was killed. I mean, it's like Scotty Road when the bulldozers moved in.
It felt like the flipping bulldozers moved in and all.
Hey, who's doing the rebuilding job? Are we bidding?
No, the brewery will do that, won't they? Hey, tell you what, though, they probably want some temporary boarding up, don't they? Nip in and see Annie when you get back.
Yeah, right.
I wish you two would stop talking shop. I'm supposed to be suffering here. Ah, now he can talk shop.
Hi there.
Hi there, he says. Right, thanks, fellas. And next time, if there is a next time, bring something, eh?
Yeah, we forgot, you know.
Yeah, I know. I've got a memory like that.
I will see you.
Yeah, see ya. Well, come on, then tell me. Am I bankrupt yet?
Oh, give us a chance. You've only been in a couple of hours.
I don't want it, really. I couldn't.
You could and you will. Now, look, a drop of brandy never hurt anybody. Look, now, come on, get it down, you. I mean, it's not just me you're up against now. I mean, what's Mrs. Walker going to say when she brought it special? Oh, no. Oh, you mustn't blame yourself, lovey.
Oh, no, it's not. I don't. It's that little girl, that baby. I thought it was over for them. I really did. I thought it was over for
I
them.
know, my love, I know. Come on, sit down. And it will be when they get back. They'll be very happy with you, you see.
Take that little elephant, you know, Deirdre. I mean, why did you take the little elephant?
Hey, who knows what goes on in the minds at times like this? They'll find her, love. The police are ever so good when it comes to things like this. And I'll go now then. Oh, hello. She's not too good. Oh, come on.
Hey, what's all this now?
Oh, Mr. Sharples.
I've been trying to get her to drink that tea. There's a drop of brandy in it.
Well, if she won't drink it, I will. Come on, drink it up.
Do you think we ought to go out and help look for them?
No, we don't go look for. There's lots of people out there looking, and they know what they're doing. In any case, your place is in here. Who's going to look after them if they come back and you're not here to do for them?
Yes, that's true.
Of course it is. I'll get the door on my way out.
All right,
Now, look,
love.
if there's anything you want, just phone the Rovers, right?
Yes.
All right.
Right, well, see that you do.
All right? No more.
Yes. Would you like to go straight to
Thank you very much indeed.
Is there any news?
Not as yet, Mrs. Bishop, but it's early days, don't worry.
Like a cup of tea?
Oh, I wouldn't say no, thank you. Mrs. Sharples, isn't it?
That's right. I'll go make some fresh.
Thank you. May I? I'm just rechecking one or two points. The doll we found under the rubble, you say you assumed it belonged to Mrs. Langton's little girl.
Tracy, yes.
But you'd never seen it before.
No, she had lots of dolls, but I'd never seen that one.
So we can assume it was a new one.
I suppose so. I think I saw all those she got for Christmas. Does he know about the little elephant?
Yes,
The people...
yes, they do, but we're not concentrating on a young lady carrying a child's toy. If she picked it up unthinkingly, she could just as unthinkingly have dropped it. You know, people who go missing under these circumstances are noticed. They do strange things, excite attention. That is why we find them. And we'll find her.
Doctor, is there anything else you can tell me?
Not a thing, Mrs. Roberts. We know your husband has a fractured skull. We know we need further observation, further tests, a brain scan.
What's a brain scan?
Mrs. Roberts, just because we go looking for trouble doesn't mean to say that we find it. But routine says we have to look. Under the circumstances, your husband is progressing perfectly normally. In fact, I'm worrying less about him than I am about you. Let Nurse Phillips know as soon as you want to go home. It's not the slightest point you running yourself down.
No, I think I'll stay a little longer.
All right. He's in very good hands, you know.
Hello? How are you?
Not too bad, love. Any change?
No, not yet. There we are. I knew she'd had some more recent ones taken.
Well, let's hope we don't have to issue it, but thanks all the same.
I really came along to let you know about them in hospital.
How are they?
Well, Alf's in a bad way, bless him, but we'll know more about him when he opens his eyes. But he's the only one, though. The rest are all progressing, thanks be to God.
It could have been much, much worse. We were just talking about this doll.
Oh, yes. What doll's that?
The one we found under the rubble.
This one.
Oh, that's the one that girl gave to Tracy.
What girl?
A girl that came round at dinner time, round about 12:30. Diddy did give me her name, but I've forgotten what it was. Early 20s, long dark hair, thin, skinny little thing. She gave that doll to Tracy.
That sounds like... What's her name? Sally? Sally Norton?
That's it, Sally Norton.
Do you think this girl's involved?
She could be. She was strange, withdrawn. She'd had her own baby, adopted. That's how I knew her. She'd struck up a friendship with Deirdre. She was always wanting to take Tracy out for walks. I'd forgotten she was coming today. Deirdre was going to send her away, nicely, I mean, but neither of us really trusted her. Why didn't I think of her before?
Do we have her address?
The hospital will.
Well, she could be the key. I'm not one for wild guesses, but it could be if you find the girl, we find the kiddie.
Come on. Mummy will take you home.
That's it then. Early 20s, 5'2", thin, brownish hair, and she's wearing a long check coat with brown boots, and she's got pink gloves. And hopefully she's pushing a baby in a pushchair. Let's cruise around the park for a bit. You never know your luck.
Yes. Eddie Yates wants to see you, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, no, that's all I need. I've got this dreadful headache coming on. What does he want?
Well, something about boarding up the front, only. I remember that you said what the brewery said, you know.
Oh, yes. Goodness gracious, ask him to come in.
Right. OK, love.
Afternoon, Mrs. Walker. Len asked me to
Oh,
come...
and I'm so glad you came. Do you know, I'd completely forgotten all about it and I intended to get in touch. Could you board up the front as securely as possible? Only the brewery won't be able to rebuild for another couple of days, and they asked me to get in touch with someone local to do a temporary job.
First thing in the morning. Business as usual, is it?
Yes, business as usual.
Right, we'll have the boarding up long before opening time, so it should be all right. It'll be like a speakeasy, won't it? Like in the old Prohibition days, you know. Elliot Ness and the Untouchables.
Really? I think we'll have to lock up the spirits each night until the job is properly done.
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you very much for coming. It had completely slipped my mind. It's not surprising on this day of days.
No, very true, Mrs. Walker, very true.
I won't keep you, love. I gather from them you're not very well.
Come on in. I'm all right. I just keep going up and down every 5 minutes till I'm having a better spell now.
Oh, good, yeah. You've had a word with the lad, have you?
Yes, I have.
First thing in the morning, all right, boss?
Fine.
Right. And may I say how much I'm looking forward to working in a pub, Mrs. Walker?
Really? I don't see why. It's much the same as working anywhere else. Except that we expect a higher standard for rather less money. And we don't give pints of beer instead of cups of tea.
Oh, no, I wasn't thinking of that. No, I was thinking it's an opportunity to give of your best, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I'll be getting on.
Let's move on. Hold it. Switch your engine off. I think we've got lucky.
They found that kid yet?
What kid?
The Langton kid. Deirdre's little girl.
Oh, no, not as far as I know. Last I heard, they were still looking.
Still looking for Deirdre as well?
Yeah.
How's that Goldston order doing?
Now, how long do you reckon you've been in here? Shall I tell you? Just over 3 hours. They're working on it. It's going fine. I'll tell you what I do want from you, though. Take a look at this. That's the price you gave Masons. Now, I was on to Billy McDowell there just before lunch, and they want to go into court, but the price is frightening them. So I reckon if you shave it a bit, not too much, just enough, then we're in, and that could grow into something really big.
I'm glad I never had any kids. Nothing but trouble when you got 'em coming and going. She must be going through murder, that bird.
Well, I never knew you had it in you.
I am human, you know.
Yeah, but only just.
She's not the only one. I mean, take Ray Langton. Supposing you were him and the worst came to the worst, what do you think it's like losing your family? Bang.
Well, he lost them months ago.
Don't kid yourself. Not Deirdre. And certainly not that little girl. It is his daughter, you know.
Yeah.
You don't switch off that easy. Not when you're that type.
What type's that?
My type, that's how I know. I'll tell you something else that'll make you laugh. I envied that lad.
What, Ray Langton?
Yeah, he cracked it. Did his playing around, got himself a good wife, nice little kid. Then he couldn't stop playing around, so he lost them both. That's what would have happened to me. Yeah. I know what he's going through, all right.
I don't think they've told him.
Is that so? Oh, well, I just lay here and do the worrying for him. Got nothing better to do.
Except shave this price for Masons.
You do it. Who said that?
Oh, certainly not the Mike Baldwin I know.
Yeah, well, don't worry. He'll soon be back.
Yes, I know he's worse off, Mrs. Sharples, but at least he's in hospital being cared for. Heaven knows
Look,
where...
I won't tell you again. You're a grown woman. Act like one.
I'm sorry.
My Cyril used to say our daylight was a copper's best friend. You know, at times like this. He used to hate to be sent out on searches just as it were getting dark. So, I mean, they've got all the afternoon.
They'll be found long before the afternoon's over, which doesn't give you much time to prepare yourself, young woman. That's better. She wants a calm, happy house to come back to, not the wailing wall of Weatherfield. If I know anything about Deirdre, she's seen enough tears to last her a lifetime.
It's Tracy I keep thinking of. I can't help it, Mrs. Sharples.
Hey, she won't know anything about it. Bless her little heart.
I know, but what about that girl? I mean, suppose she does something.
Oh, come on, what can she do? Pushing a wheelchair about and every policeman in the district looking for her.
I know, but if she's deranged and sees the police, she could panic. She could...
Stay where you are. Stay where you are.
Oh, wonderful. Emily! Emily!
Go on.
My darling, my darling.
Right, take her away.
Oh. Is that the girl who took Tracy?
Yes, it is,
You
Mrs. Bishop.
terrible girl, you terrible, terrible girl.
Now, Mrs. Bishop, come on. You'd best take the child inside.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Thanks, love. Nice work. Thank you, sir. That young woman just walked into our arms and thanked me for the lift. I know that. You never know what's going to happen next. So, let's find the mother. Right, sir.
Well, it's ironic, isn't it? I mean, if that girl hadn't taken Tracy...
Oh, it doesn't bear thinking about.
I feel like a spare part sitting here. Oh, I'm going to get the van out.
Yeah, I think I'll go for a walk, too. You never know. We might find something that the police have missed.
I'll come with you, lovey.
Well, I don't think we'd be much use.
No, we'll stay here.
She's not a bit tired. She's sleeping quite happily. Where's everyone going?
We're just going scouting round.
You lend a hand.
Can I come with you, Len?
I don't see why not.
Oh, I'll get
Try, love. About it.
Bye. Bye.
Hey, I don't know. As if she hadn't got troubles enough of her own, she has to go looking for somebody else's.
I don't think you've got much to talk about in that respect, Mrs. Sharples.
Mrs. Langton? Mrs. Langton, we've got the baby. We've got Tracy.
Stay here. Emily.
Why didn't you bring her up?
We can't. She doesn't believe that Tracy's still alive. She could jump in.
Oh, dear God.
Stay here. I'm going to fetch Tracy.
Hey, she's chattering away to herself up there.
It's amazing how self-sufficient children are. Little girls mostly. Little boys cling to their mummies and then leave them.
Oh.
Get Tracy down. I'm taking her. We found Deirdre.
Is she safe?
Yeah, let's hope she stays that way.
Mrs. Langton, we've got her. We've got the baby.
Got Tracy. Tracy's here. Here's Mummy now, look.